if you're going to be an entrepreneur, you almost have the opposite profile as a soldier. You're very high in openness and you're lower in conscientiousness, or at least conscientiousness is irrelevant. And the reason for that seems to be that, like, if you're an orderly person and you like to follow procedures and rules, it's kind of hard for you to start a company, because when you first start a company or engage in any other creative process, because entrepreneurs turn out to be the same as artists, you kind of have to, you're not operating within a rule-governed structure. In fact, there may be many times where you have to break a small rule to move properly at a higher level of analysis. There's no algorithmic way of generating a new company, right? Obviously.
We recruit entrepreneurs at USC like we recruit dancers and musicians and athletes because we want the best people here.
I'm so pissed. That would have been really cool for me. Like, I mean it. Like, that would have been, like, that's super rad.
Because look, you know, students coming in with perfect ACTs and perfect scores, they may not be entrepreneurs are ready for that. They're used to perfection and used to doing really well. They're not ready to launch at 22. Some of them, some people are. But we say, go find me a kid who really is in it to win it, and like bring us that person, even if she doesn't have perfect scores.
It's natural talent. Yeah. It's not even in it to win it. The SAT perfect kids are in it to win it. It's talent.
Yeah. So
that matters. Like, I'm in it to win it to be a pro football quarterback. I'm in it to win it. It's not gonna happen.
So you need to have some creative wingnuts in your organization to come up with completely absurd ideas that might just on the off chance be true. And so creativity is strange in that manner too, because it's a high risk, high return game. You're a lot safer in your life to find a functioning entity and to operate as a cog within it, as long as the entity keeps functioning. Because if you're creative and you go off on tangents all the time, there's some probability that one of those tangents is going to be exactly what is needed at the time, and you're going to become hyper successful as a consequence. But there's much more probability that even though some of your ideas might be highly valuable, the probability that this is the right time and place for them is extraordinarily low.
I believe that right there is the definition of entrepreneurship. It's when you love your game more than what the game gives you. We do not have the proper context around entrepreneurship. Until we start understanding the level of talent involved in it, we will always undermine how difficult it is, because we think it's a process. And that doesn't mean, again, this is why underlining that, we have to contextualize how awesome it is.
So to produce a successful creative product, for example, in the marketplace, you need a ridiculous combination of creativity so that you keep generating ideas, and then a network around you of people who have skills that you don't, and then the production of a product, let's say, whatever that happens to be, that's actually in demand by the marketplace at exactly that moment, and that someone else hasn't already done better. So the sensible thing to tell anybody who wants to be creative is, that's stupid. You shouldn't do it. It's your probability of success is so low that it's better just to do something sensible. But the problem with that is that creative people can't do that because they're creative. And if they shut down their creativity, it's like an extrovert who's gone to live in in an isolated cell. A creative person who isn't being creative, they just wither and die. So they're stuck with it. But it is a high risk, high return strategy. So probably better if you want to be creative, or if you are, and you should take this advice to heart, because I've been watching people for a long time. If you want to engage in a creative pursuit, you should find something stable to do that will generate you an income, and you should pursue the thing that you're creative about on the side, because monetizing creative production is so bloody difficult.